Alright, there we have it. We are live, ladies and gentlemen, on the Trekyards channel, doing a Halloween themed something. Yeah, I wanted to jump on for Halloween and, well, an excuse to wear this costume. So that's fun. Also talk to you about the horror sci-fi. As soon as I thought Alien, loved about Alien, etc. As with Drunkyards implies, drinking is up to you. I have the booze, I have the will, I have the way. So super chat, and Sam will drink. And if you guys go wild, Sam will. Oh, 25 FPS. Damn, I forgot to move the FPS. Darn, I can't. Well, okay, so it won't be quite as smooth alive, but that's okay. You guys won't notice anyway. That's fine. That's fine. And yes, I even went red. And yes, this is actually a very warm costume, so I cannot even go 5 minutes out of the. It's really warm in England. Like this, I was kind of expecting and hoping this to be a colder night, and therefore I'd be able to get away with not. But no. It's actually real warm. But, like I say, super chat your thoughts, comments, questions, and Halloween things. And I will get drinking. I got shots, I got normal stuff. Okay, let's post on the pages. And we'll see how long you guys want me to go. Because that is up to you. And vote in the poll as well. Okay, I am live celebrating. Halloween. Halloween in Drunkyards style. Yes. That is not how you spell Halloween. And join in. Alright, it's a simple post today. Posting on all the social medias. Because I've got to do all of the things. Right, okay. Oh, I love you. Olivia May Julius. Wow, can you look very scary as Samuel? Yes. Yes, E. You're about to give Jesus gold Frankenstein. Oh, yes, a wise man. Two drinks. Excellent. Okay, that was disappointing. Yeah. Thank you. Well, car sheep, it's 9 PM for me, so is happily night drinking. I think I can just go sort of standard robe. Yeah, now I can see. And the accenting works better on my face. Dramatic, eh? Much cooler. Yeah, it's night drinking for me. Although, oh. Oops. Yes. Dear me. So, as you always say, questions, comments, thoughts, subjects, whatever. But, hi-fi, Halloween sci-fi horror, geez. So, put in the chat right now. When I say sci-fi horror, what do you think of? What goes straight to your brain? I think for me it's got to be the Alien franchise, because they are more sci-fi than just monster. Because Terminator is sci-fi, but it's obviously present day, you know, relatively speaking, versus mega future. I know Event Horizon is a classic that people consider, but that's also so much horror. I remember, I think I've only watched Event Horizon twice. Once when I was, I think, late teens. I did actually buy it in a special Mega 4K. I think it's the one I actually haven't opened. I think it's actually right over there. Okay, five $5 and I'll go open my Event Horizon 4K Blu-ray. Because that's kind of hilarious. I haven't done. Oliver, do this! Make Samuel drunk. There's nothing more scary than drunk Englishman. Yes. Yes. Ooh, species. How do we get? I'm gonna write that down. Species. I have a weird feeling of species. Yeah, put in the chat right now. I wish I could do a general. Oh, see, Gorgonzola. I also think that too. I also visualize that as well. But Patrick, that's 10, which is the half shot. Ah, cool there. Also, what do you think of the red lighting? Trying something a bit radical. Well. Oh, I felt the diamond juice. Well, shit. Okay. I'm back in a second. Put in what you think of the sci-fi there. Oh, no. It's such a cloak. My God. It's a huge blooming cloak. It goes past my legs. It's on the stairs, just kind of. Right. Okay. Jesus, that was from like 3 sips. Right. Okay. And I'll respond to Patrick. 10 is fantastic. Thank you. $10 vodka. Patrick, $10. I know you've probably said it in the past or linked it, but I was curious where you got your Jedi outfit. What's the approximate cost? Now this is a tricky one because there are lots of places. I assume you're still here, Patrick. Hope you are. So yeah, this is So I'm doing a fan film. As you guys may or may not know, Star Wars 1, because the Obi-Wan Kenobi show really inspired me. Well, the first 2 episodes did, and then it got less good, but I still had my idea. And my logic for the last few years, I was in a slightly better financial state back then. It's kind of got harder as the years gone, as the year has gone on. And I said to myself, right, well, this is something I want to wear for years, and ideally not put on weight so I can keep wearing it for years. Just like my Star Trek costumes, where you go quality and it pays off in dividends, etc. And I'm going to film it in a really high quality camera, so you notice. So you can get something very similar to this in very, very low pricing. Like $140, like a very low cost one. And that might be great. That might be nice, it might be fine. This, I went higher end because I really wanted one that would last. So what this benefits is that the fabric... The fabric is a proper linen, as is the it's all sourced to be actually correct, and this is a proper nice whatever. Really expensive. I'd be happy to send you a link to the person because he does fantastic work. So if you want to email trekyards@hotmail.com, I can absolutely send you their direction. But I went on the high end because I wanted to keep it for a long time. But definitely many hundreds. And then I got absolutely screwed in customs. So if you're in the UK, boy, I got heavily screwed. But then it's heavy, so you kind of expect that. But to get quoted a price, pay the price, have to buy the belt, the boots, all that crap, and then suddenly have to have a customs charge, which is more than high-end boots on top of everything else, plus postage. Intel USA, you save hundreds of pounds or hundreds of dollars. But the quality is beautiful. It's in my film. It looks amazing on screen. It feels great to wear, very comfortable. I'm going to treasure this, So if you'd like to know, I'll absolutely set you up with a person. Email trekyards@hotmail.com. I'll absolutely send you. And I can, in fact, because I went ahead and did all the research to find a Obi-Wan costume, but then also could I modify it, make it custom? But I got every piece. So I got the belt. I got the little little feeding tube things with proper versions. I got pouches, so I got the entire set. So if you're like, I have money to burn, and I would like to make one properly, I had to source every single piece. and I would certainly appreciate someone who, when I was building it, to help me. So email. Gorgonzola. Trekyards, what kind of lightsaber I can use with that costume? Aha! So this is the lightsaber that I joke. I always say this with this sort of thing, because lightsaber is, you know, what did Obi-Wan Kenobi say in Attack of the Clones? This is your life, right? So just like in Harry Potter, the mentality was the wand chooses you. I scoured many a website for lightsabers, and I found a small Etsy store, which actually is a website, but I sell them too. And this one has caught my eye. It's more reflective than I want it to be, but that's okay. But I liked this emitter cowling. I liked the general like simple vibe. Yet it's got enough sort of asymmetrical details to be complicated, but not. And then when you hold it, you kind of, with the initiator, you kind of like, you instantly sort of have a vibe. Well, I've got to have it built in 3D as well for the film, because the thing assembles in the episode. So I tried doing a photogrammetry of this model, but it's too reflective, so it didn't work at all. But I like it. It's not the most complicated one, but I like it. And in fact, I did get, for reference, the Luke saber, and a very different vibe, and while aesthetically very nice, you soon realise that with Luke's very like your hand hits the, well, yeah, it's not a weird setting. Not great for holding. Not great for holding at all. But that's okay. They're not meant for holding. Yes. Yes, pardon me. I also thought that would be very spooky if the Jedi Council would send me on a mission somewhere. They would tell me you in that much large quote. Oh, thanks. When you have the time made, go for it no matter what it is. Well, I mean, Solaris, it was one of those things where you can only have so much life. You can always earn more money, and yes, you might suffer in the middle of the short term, but, you know, this stuff, if you buy it proper the first time, you hold on for it for 15, 20 years. You know, my dad got a whole lot of Trek costumes in the 90s that, you know, were with a higher tier, made by a supplier that hasn't actually done them for, well, 90s, and they're still absolutely functional right now, and that's amazing. So, you know. So yeah. Yes, it is very awkward to hold, Sean. It really is. Alright, so you guys said, what do you associate Halloween, sci-fi horror films? Matt said Alien franchise, Event Horizon, Alien, Species, Event Horizon, Flatliners, Splice, The Thing, Predator movies. Yeah, but see, the idea of the body horror, well, no. Because Predator's a hard one, because Predator, for the most part, is an action movie with heavy sci-fi tropes. The horror kind of comes from stringing people up for like 2 seconds and the gruesomeness of the kills. But I wouldn't call it horror. Event Horizon is pure horror. It's almost not a sci-fi film in the hey, Mark Vanosh. Happy Halloween. Yes, happy Halloween, everybody. And I'm totally inclined to get drunk tonight. I have many a booze, so if you guys would like to see me get drunk, any super chat will do. Yeah, but for me, it's the Alien films are a great incarnation where they, because of the nature of, well, it is a boogeyman killer person in space. You know, Michael Myers and that lot are very much a single person, hard to stop or impossible to stop, coming out to kill you. which is what Predator is, but that's, well, Arnie is not a, you don't feel for him in the same way that you do for someone like Sigourney Weaver or Sigourney Weaver or Sigourney Weaver or Sigourney Weaver. But the Alien films, I think, the tension moments certainly give that a lot of the extra vibe. And is the second one a horror film, given that it's mostly action? The fact that there is there's horrible body gruesome stuff is obviously quite horror-y. Oh, it's a pin to it. That's nice.
It's fun how like a lot of streaming and
ring. Yeah, put in the chat. Okay. Just had so my friend and co-cast member Emma Thorne is currently live on Twitch. So I'm gonna send her a picture of me doing my live, and we'll see if she. Well, can you hear her? No, okay, I muted hers. We'll see if she actually takes the text live on Twitch, which would be kind of cute if she did. She's currently playing a.
Oh
my god,
no!
a SpongeBob thing. That's gruesome. Let's send this.
God, this thing is from hell. As I came downstairs, I heard a
Both
noise
live.
coming from the pantry, and this thing was rummaging around there looking for something. When it saw me, it started running. I rushed to the exit from the basement, but he got there faster and bit off my fucking hand. I have to get to the second exit.
Aren't we
until
cool?
he got me. I put away this note. Oh no.
That's just
Sorry,
shit.
SpongeBob.
Oh, did it just crash on me?
Rest in peace, my closest friend.
Come on. Okay, let's see if that worked. Aha!
Oh, there's 3 locks on it, of course.
Anyway. Yes.
Hear him.
Pandorum. Oh my god, Pandorum. That's a.
It's got squishy feet.
Pandorum is a weird one. Who's seen Pandorum in the chat? I actually quite liked it. It's definitely. I haven't seen it for so long. It's good weird though. It's
I shouldn't have looked at that painting.
very much. I kill you. Vibe. Let's see. Oh, John Wick.
Oh, you
That's
missed
true.
that?
Do they have a beard already? Oh, Kit. PayPal £20. Doors. Random question.
Good.
Who do you think would win? A xenomorph from Aliens or an alien from the Independence Day
This
movies?
is such a weird basement. Why does SpongeBob have
That's
this
awesome.
in his house?
Mm.
Key.
Trekyards. Yes. I have many costumes.
I can hear him.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Lots of
I'm
people,
stuck in a corner. Is this fine?
go in to Star Trek costume for Halloween, but I'm do it every day, so it's like I pick a different costume.
Colonel.
Ah, she hasn't seen it.
Filthy. Disgusting. I think he's like on the other side
Well,
of this
with
wall.
me being a truck driver, oof, yes. So phasers usually
I
says.
kind of want to see it again because the Squidward creeping around
Remember
was really
Cobra?
funny.
Cool. Oh, Sean, thank you for asking. Yes, I have lots of news, but yeah, I'll drink more of the. Forget. Gross. Right. Xenomorph versus Alien from Independence Day.
Oh!
I feel like those things would be. Well, I mean, aliens are meant to be the most perfect, full-on killer, aren't they? They can just absolutely massacre a group or be powerful by themselves. So, that said, I'm sure the Independence Day aliens have something they can do. They have multiple tails. But if you had tech into the works, when they start shooting them with their big-ass beams, they'll probably win. So, I think Xenomorph is kind of an always win. Although, okay, name in the chat. Who out of aliens, one-on-one physical combat, could win a Xenomorph battle one-on-one more times than not. Because arguably Predator is like, yeah, maybe not. Not all the time, at least. I mean, Matt Baldwin, $20. Although it's not sci-fi. I'm recently introduced to the Conjuring series and loved it. Also, I love Star Wars Battlefront 2 has an Ewok core level. Yes, it does. That's a horrible bit, yeah. I could have the vodka, yes. Yeah, I've never seen Conjuring. Oh, I should play Battlefront 2 with these 1490. That'd be cool. Oh, yeah, Sean Robinson. How are Trek shorts coming along, by the way? Any upcoming in the works with that? Yeah, who in the chat saw my trailer for a new film called Time Heist? Can you guess what it's about? It's a story with the USS Defiant, Nick Cook, Nimra Thorne, and Emma Thorne, and some other people that I won't announce because they're secondaries. And it is Vija. Starfleet has been tasked with needing information from Vija, because Vija spanned a lot of place and time. So we need to go back and get something from its databanks, because yeah, and of course it's going to generate some time bending shenanigans. And because, as in the trailer, the Defiant did go back in time once before with the Orb of Time, they know it's possible, and so they gain permission with Kira aboard to use it. I guess. I wrote it, but I guess. And yeah, they go back in time, and hijinks ensues. There's a very fun twist, and that's a trailer we released. I am working on another film to release during this Indiegogo because we are desperately in need of funds. The Indiegogo is going okay, but every dollar will make a difference. We are at 11% funded with 31 days to go, I believe, and definitely need the money, because we've spent a lot of that money, and we're going to spend a lot of it very soon as well. So if anything you donate would be tremendous. Here is the link. I mean, literally, like, if every one of you gave 20 right now, we'd see a lovely uptick in numbers. So, you know, yeah. But yeah, we've got another film coming out in Indiegogo that is very different. Again, it is on the dock, but it's Romulan-y. And it's a very interesting vibe, super different to my last one, which I just released as well. We'll see if you like it, or as much, or it's not as much. It's interesting. Yeah. But Patrick James says, I'm trying to determine which sci-fi series would be the best to watch on Halloween, so I can only think Doctor Who, so how many episodes which could fit. God, there are lots of Halloween-themed or horror-themed Doctor Who's. Quite a few, actually. Especially if you include the old era. What other TV shows would work for Halloween? I mean, obviously Stranger Things would be Halloween for some of it. Teen drama for other bits. It kind of fluctuates between the genres a little bit. Let's have a look. Okay, SG Wraiths suck the life out of a xenomorph. Yes? I assume so. I mean, it might get killed first. I mean, it's life essence, isn't it? It's not necessarily anything specific. Let's change the name from B5. First second thought I had, he used the Vija sound for this one, and I thought, oh my god, it's Vija. Yes. Yeah, very on purpose I led with the musical cue that you should all recognise. That was an idea that came out of doing something else. It occurred to me that we've not done all of the Titans, the big Titans of Star Trek, and you know what? Before I finish, let's do the last Titan. So that's a lot of fun, and boy, getting the Vija inside the cloud was a real bitch. But it's not going to be the focus, the inside the Vija cloud stuff. It's more the thematics around it. Yes. Shush you, Grievous. This saber will never be for your collection. No. No. You will not do it. Yes. Ooh. Yes. But no, like I say, back to Alien, because Alien's fun. I like Alien. I mean, the first one is obviously raw horror. The third one is pretty horrific as well, on purpose. The second one is obviously action movie, because they got guns. Fourth one is a weird hybrid of everything. Actually, I just realised the fourth Alien film is almost more of a Frankenstein allegory, because they make Frankenstein's monster with the DNA. Yeah. That's why it kind of feels that way. Interesting. Yeah. Then Prometheus and Covenant is weird. Well, I would have loved to have seen the Alien 5? Yeah, Alien 5 with Sigourney and Chris Hicks, I believe was retconning 3 and 4. As they all, I mean, I love every game. There was retcon every Alien up from 2. It's like every Terminator. You just ignore it, everything up from 2, because they've all made weird mistakes. Ooh, Doomsday Machine, Halloween Night for me. Come on, yes, Doomsday Machine is yeah, very effective. Oh, good old gamer. Now, good old gamer man, right? Have you seen Alien 3's director's cut? Because I saw Alien 3 on a VHS tape, sneakily, because I wasn't 18 yet, very low volume, a couple of stops and starts, and it's not a good film. I believe I just watched Alien 2 for the first time a few days beforehand, actually, because I kind of went on a sneaky binge. And Alien 3, I was like, what the hell is this? Because vibe-wise, it's entirely different. And normally sequels build off the previous film, but Alien 3 literally rips down the second film again, which seems like a waste of the second film. But then I got the DVDs. I got a special box set because it was yeah. And you know, it's funny how little things make a difference. There's a store called HMV, which is but mostly was kind of like a Blockbuster, but a more modern version, and it's still around, still doing stuff. I buy some of their stuff occasionally. And they were having this most insane deals, one in London, and it was actually around Christmas, and they were doing just absolutely insane deals, which made me think they always do insane deals, but they don't. And I got like the entire Alien Quantillery, whatever, for like £5-7, and I got it as a present as well. And that was amazing, because I could rewatch the films again from scratch, better quality, but the special features, I die for special. I live for special features, and I was shocked there was 2 versions of Alien, because the other films had a little bit different than Alien 2. So I watched Alien 2. I was like, okay, the new scenes are where, what? And then I check Alien 3. And I think this is pre-internet. It's pre-googling something about, Dad, get off the PC so I can Google something. And I checked, and oh my god, Alien 3 is like 25 minutes, no, like 35 minutes longer than Alien 3 Classic, the director's cut. And so, if you're literally adding, it's like 1 hour 32 into like 2 hours and 10, that's a whole other act. And it is entirely new act. It actually entirely alters the changing the film, but it makes it actually quite a good movie. I haven't watched it since, because I'm waiting for it to come out in 4K, if it ever does. But boy, Alien 3 director's cut, much more solid movie. The setups feel more earned, the payoffs feel more earned, the struggle feels better. Yeah, watch Alien 3 director's cut. You will absolutely have a better experience. You may not change your mind. I did watch them back to back ish, so I got the context. But yeah, sadly, it made me wish there was a director's Alien 4 director's cut, which there isn't, to make it better. But that's okay. Yeah, I'm surprised there's not been Alien with Sigourney Weaver. I mean, she's only getting less young. But I don't know. They've tried many a time with Ridley Scott. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 85% sure that Ridley basically has the kibosh on the universe. If he, you know, his Alien films or nothing, which is like, well, dude, come on, please. Yeah, I'd like to see Alien 5 for sure. Yeah, and 2, yeah. My favourite movie in franchise are Die Hard. Yes, Sean, Die Hard is a tremendous film. I think 2's okay. Although Die Hard 2 is an extremely faithful sequel in that it is a very close sequel, almost too close. And then Die Hard 3 I think is fantastic. I really like Die Hard 3, and Die Hard 4 is okay, which makes Die Hard 5 look worse because Die Hard 5 is absolutely god awful. Yeah. As I'm drinking, but I'd like to do some shots. Any 20s, I can do some shots. It would be good. Oh, we like Alien 3, to be honest, just joke because it's easy. Yeah, it's a weird, I mean, why do they think... Like, I'd be fine if they killed Hicks and Newt just revealed they were not dead. They were, like, cloned by the company and they came back at the end. That'd be a good twist. But I also asked everyone, dress up this year in any capacity, yes or no, and 79% no. But let me do a little poll. I have another idea. Oh, that's a thing. Ah, okay. Let's see if this works now. We tried this a week ago. I can do a Q&A. Don't know what Q&A means. Let's try a Q&A. What is your favourite sci-fi horror film? So this has never worked for us. Right. Start a Q&A. Okay. Okay. That's right. So I've got an empty box now. Okay. So you cancel. Okay. Okay. So it lines up. Okay, so anybody try Q&Aing this thing? Let's see if we can work out what on earth it does. So turn on Q&A. Now, is it going to need a super chat to ask something? Can I ask something? Hello? Okay. Oh. And then select question. Hello, yes. Okay. Okay, that's weird. Okay. That's not a great feature, is it? I mean, I guess it lets you do a slight specific thing, but that's a bit dull, isn't it? As a feature. Okay, that's dull. That's dull. Alright, let's do a poll again, because that's much more interesting. Let's do a poll. Oh god, what was the poll? Oh no, what was the poll? Oh yes, I remember. Yeah. Throw it on the poll. Let's have a look what you guys said. So, John Grievous, he has no need to dress up. Well. Although, how'd you put a costume on Grievous? You could do like a Native American, you could put like a headdress, and then have him like 6 turkeys. There's a scene in Stargate Atlantis Midway where a wraith is stabbed through the face, bleeds, smiles. Oh, jeez. Do not remember that scene. Midway's pretty good. It's weird, but it's good. Sean T, $5. Thank you. Best regards, Commander. Sir! Hasta la Vista was the... it was Alta Vista. Yeah, I don't think it was a good... Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I maybe asked Jeeves. Maybe I did. Joe Grievous, Jurassic movies can have certain horror aspects. I mean, yes, but if anything can just be, I kill you, and make it horror, that's not, that's not. You could suddenly put in the camp lots of films that shouldn't necessarily have that modicum. Yes. Duke said Robocop to be a horror film. No, it's an action. It's a gruesome action film. maybe some suspense, but I rewatched it very recently because the 4K came out, and the gore holds up really well. Very well. Do I have a favourite, but some anime movies can be very... Yes, anime can be weird. Fifth Element has a horror element. Fifth Element had a horror element? Which bit? I mean, there's elements that are horrific in a very small case, H, with the body morphing, aliens, etc. I'd say horror, though. I voted the poll. I asked everybody, did you go trick-or-treating at least once when you were a child? Yes, at least once. Nope, never. Now, trick-or-treating is not as big a deal in the UK because we have a weird town structure that's hugely varied. There's very few places that are that neat and ordered to have like cul-de-sacs. I assume probably the more cul-de-sac-y, but not really my area. And it would be nice, but not really. Oh well. I did it once. Which was fun. God, I must have been like 12. We should have done it more. I actually went trick-or-treating with Stuart and his kids, or his kid, which was nice. Let me send a shot to Stuart because I see what he's doing. Where is Stuart's face? There is Stuart's face. Yes. Let's okay. What does Google say if you sorry? What does Alta Vista say when you Google sci-fi horror film? What does it clarify? So Nope. Okay. Project Gemini. Not seen that. Prey. We'll call it horror. Resident Evil's come up. Yeah, that makes sense. Life. Quarantine. Breach. Okay. Black Box. Incarnate New Mutants. Army of the Dead. Bird Box. This is not what I would class as sci-fi horror. Okay, let's do Screen Rant. What do they say? Upgrade. Have not seen Upgrade. Oh my god, yes, Cube. Oh my god, who has seen Cube? Did I get Cube on Blu-ray? I must have. Oh my god, who's seen Cube? Cube for me is extremely good. Cube is, as it sounds, there's a cube. Okay, well, spoiler alert. I'll give context spoilers of the storyline because Cube I found very, very good. It's an indie horror film back in the late 90s, and the idea is that a set of people of various walks of life and except ages and such all wake up in this box, this metal box on my cape, and they don't know why they're there, and they obviously want to try and get out. So they go to they find 4 different entrances, and they manage to get out of there. Oh, there's another cube. Okay, I think they're into like a 3rd cube, and then one gets horribly killed because the cubes are either nice or murderous, of varying degrees of murderous. And the brilliant thing about the film is that it feels relatively strong budget, but it wasn't because they had like one set and they lit each cube differently and like an intervening corridor, and it's amazing to achieve the entire thing. Really good acting. David Hewitt and Nicola de Boer are in it. It's a Canadian film. Strongly recommend it as a film. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and if anyone has watched it, let me know. I do want to watch the follow-up films, but because I know they expand the lore, but they're not going to be good, are they? I know they're not going to be good. Cube is such a good film. Yeah, I bought Cube for myself in 2019. No, that's great film. Marco Van Ash. Hello there. Master Cockings. No, try not. Drink or drink hot. There is no try. Ha. That's good. I can feel the bubbles on that one. It's true. The classic. Motto is good. Sean T. Is that a horror film? I kind of like Moonfall. It's stupid, but I kind of liked it. I always, yeah. The problem with these Drunkyards live L cards is that I've got like 12 in a folder for varying events, and the spelling was wrong ages ago, and then if I accidentally use an old one as the base of a new one rather than a new one base of a new one, then the spelling mistake holds over. Boo. 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 That's how I feel. Oh, Equilibrium. Now, Equilibrium is interesting because that for sure is an action movie. However, the entire premise involves ruining yourself. So there's more of a psychological torture aspect, just a little bit. That I would say is more of a psychological thriller. That I would love that to come in 4K. See the gun carters in 4K. I feel like none of them knows Equilibrium is a film, which is a shame. Who's seen Equilibrium? Equilibrium. I could do Equilibrium costume, which is a trench coat, isn't it? So. But I really want the because it's basically Matrix, but not. But I really want the pistols. Oh, you can buy John Preston, $135 for his black trench coat. Ooh. 2002. It's in stock, but how much would that mess me up in terms of if I have flannel or cotton? Oh, free shable wad, no hinge charge. Oh. Maybe next year I can go as a black trench coat man. Don't know where to get the pistols. I mean, I've got a Beretta, but part of the fun is having the cleric coat. Oh, you can buy a from the Night Store shop. Okay, you can buy a Futurist long coat. That's like £50. Is this a? What is this? This actual what is literally an armory with swords, and they're selling an Equilibrium cleric coat for £75. I've never looked for it, so I'm. What? Well, I mean, they have Game of Thrones, Assassin's Creed, LARPing merchandise. That's interesting. Yeah, who's the Equilibrium? Put me down. Oh, we could buy a flintlock pistol. That's kind of cool. £70. Game of Thrones. There's nothing Game of Thrones. That's weird. English Civil War swords. Let's see what they sell in swords. Lots, I'm betting. Yeah, £200 for a sword. Sorry, anyway, chat. Hi, chat. Sean T. 199. Thought that though was about sci-fi, my bad. Oh, what did you say? Yes, sci-fi. Yeah, I've never seen The Thing. ER. I probably should. Yes, super chat for the win for sure. The Terminator. Is the Terminator horror? First, okay. Vote now. Vote now in the chat. Would you say the first? Would you say the first Terminator is approaching a horror film? 2 certainly not. But the first one, I mean, it's a lot closer than other films. Just the way they approach it. All right. Yes. Next Halloween I might do what I did last time. Oh, Power Rangers. Ha. Yeah. I know, because morph suits must be so popular, especially in the bigger towns. Because they're easy and they're effective. Why not? Yeah, life I could see. Yeah, first Terminator horror for sure. 3 is horrific. Yeah, Terminator 3 is not so good. It's sad because T3 has so much potential. It just goes vanilla on itself. Should have been hard R. And I mean, what I think they said. I think there was a report when they did T3. Arnie was actually more ripped than T1 or 2. He was actually in not necessarily in age better shape, but actually in physically better shape than the other two. Weird. Superchats, yes. Yeah, I think the first one's probably a horror film. Because that pulling your eye out of your face scene is definitely some horror vibes. Because the way it breathes, lets the scene breathe. It doesn't need to, but it does. Cade, hi Cade. Favorite low deck ship design? Ooh. I mean, the Cerritos itself would be a bit of a cop out to say. So what would I say instead? Oh yeah, Packard Clump Ship. Packard Clump Ship's a really, really interesting ship. It's you know, not the best film ever, but it's film. Looking at films, it's a pretty good ship. I like it for sure. Yeah, we do have 4K equilibrium. I have to save this. Save these coat ideas. It's kind of cool. Oh, so it's made 420. Thanks, Stuart. Thanks, man. How's it going on your end? Are you streaming? What's going on, Fruit? Yes. That's to our one and only Stuart Foley. Huh. Is Dark Fate Sarah Connor's Halloween type comeback? See, I think the problem with Terminator, right, is that you both have to stick to the vibe of Skynet, future, change it or not, same sort of machines because they're already the pinnacle of death with a few little tweaks. Fine, that's the basic concept. But it's how creative you get around that is up to you. And they kind of either change it or don't. Success or not, I mean. So for me, Genesis was an interesting film, great concept. The idea of, and spoilers for Terminator Genesis, the idea of undoing the first film to therefore change the new films, and that Skynet would, I guess, cool idea, and then to remake the first film scenes but different. It's a great idea, but not good casting. I think the Sarah Connor gal's fine, but the other gal wasn't so good. Arnie, having two Arnies, young and old, good idea. It's some good ideas, but then to have John Connor be the antagonist was a bad move. Be even more advanced is a bad move. If it's going to be anybody, it should be in a T-1001 or something of the ilk, like just a new one, like a more powerful version of the one we know. And then how does that one end? Are they fight at a time machine? Oh yeah, because that one's the one with Matt Smith, and then the virus comes back, and see, there's good ideas, but it falls apart at the end. Although I love the idea of him being T-1000, and it's great. Dark Fate is a very different take. That's much more of a dark reimagining in a sense, and that's the problem. It has a more genuine filmic intent behind it. However, to kill the people right at the start, which devalues their films because that becomes a meaningless journey in the end, and then to replace Skynet with a less interesting version and a story of a savior is very, very poor, who just replaces John for no reason, is in itself a bad choice. I think he said in an interview, I want to change the status quo. You're replacing it with the status quo. Like, utilize the universe, don't erase it. So that was a shame. But filmically, it was a better film. Both are trying to do radical things. At least the Rev 9s? What are they called? The new Terminators. At least the design was great. That's really creative. So there's good and bad. Terminator 3 was very much a vanilla, actiony, pew. The ending was good. In that, wow, okay, we lose. But for me, weird. I do feel like, guys, and I've written, 30 Star Trek fan films and like 4 Stargate ones. I feel like I could write a better Terminator movie than Terminator 3, 5, 6. I feel like I could. I really feel like I could. By keeping the legacy aspects, but not actually just recycling them. That's kind of what you gotta do as a fan filmmaker. You gotta try and make a new story using the old stuff without over or undoing it. It's a very hard balance. But I think yeah, I think I could do it. I think I could do it. I think a lot of these films, I'm sure, have a lot of studio interaction, but then you don't do that. You give them full creative control, like Rian Johnson in Star Wars Episode 7, and it's 8, yeah, train wreck. So who knows? Yes, Safrood. Lookout Studios, $2. Thank you. Star Trek TS was a horror episode. I think, as TOS goes, yes, but yeah, we'll say horror. Yeah, we'll say horror. Because it's not really an action episode. It's not really, yeah, we'll go horror. Sean, what do you think of Salvation? Sean, what did you think of Salvation? Salvation, again, had some great ideas. Christian Bale's barely in it, which is then weird to cast him. The fact they revealed the twist in the trailer was a poor choice, although I love seeing him in the first scene. The fact they really do well to create the universe, but then the random end with the lady, the doctor thing, again, they fall down the hurdle. But was that the first CG face that was photoreal? Because that Arnie was phenomenal. I mean, they limited him just going, and static face a lot easier to do. So that was really good, but it's like the shot. That was really good. They blew up his skin straight after. I liked it. It's definitely better. It's a real film. It's not just a Terminator rip-off of itself. But it's also weird. Yeah. Yeah, Empire Canal was definitely a horror. Okay, watch Mojo, I get it. I'm not banned account. Want to buy some death sticks? Yes, I want to buy some death sticks. Patrick once again. Discovery. Terminator Horror Story. Yes. Put in the chat right now. Did you enjoy Star Trek Discovery Season 1? Season 1? Yes or no? Right now. I'll pour some more vodka. Yes. Cade, what does that even mean? What does that mean? No one hates Canada. Maybe the mooses haven't got enough health insurance or some sort of other moose-based joke. Vodka. Yeah, Night Terrors, that's a good one. No, TNG has some legitimately creepy episodes for sure. I mean, the clicking creatures are darn not fun. In a fun way. Oh. Yeah, the Serenity movie. Serenity's pretty good for that. Yeah. Yeah, when you bring the Reavers in. Don't even know what that means. Another film that is not a horror, but it's dipping into it. There. What did you have? Who here has seen the film, John Carpenter film, Ghost of Mars, which I was reminded of because of John Carpenter? Have you seen Ghosts of Mars? I have such a soft spot for Ghosts of Mars because I think the soundtrack is great. I think the set's great. I actually like the super weird vibe. I mean, it's really weird. It feels like intentional weird. I love the fact they use blanks. I know it's at the time they always use blanks, but the way they use blanks is very effective because you really feel the shots. I love the lack of ammunition. That always feels very real when they run out of ammo and you see them shoot every time. And just the set was so real. And I think the concept was great. Super simple, but to go for the body manipulation stuff was cool. Horrible, but cool. Yeah, who has seen Ghosts of Mars? I'm really glad I got that in Blu-ray because I got the limited edition Blu-ray when it came out. Oh yeah, that was lovely. Yeah, it was Jason Statham before he got famous, which is great. He's in a few things before he was famous. Can I still get? Oh. I'm confused. Did I pay like £25 for the Blu-ray you now get for? Okay, 11. Okay, fine. Oh my god, it's free with Prime. What do you mean watch free now with ads? What? What's include freebie? What? So I can watch shows with ads? What is the point in that? I guess free entertainment, but that's to be quite irritating. Is there still Prime Video then? Let's have a look. Live Googling. Include Prime. Okay, so that's without ads. Okay. Ghost of Mars was sick. Would have made great FP, I think. Yeah, it would have. Dragon Man, it really would have. Although, yeah, if you kill any villain, it disappears in someone else. Ugh. Yeah, that'd be good. It was pretty cool. Holy Grail. Ghost of Mars in a phenomenal IDJF. Who are you? Who you are? Huh? Idgaff. What's Idgaff? I don't know what that means. Shows are very scary, yes. Ghost of Mars, loads of fun. Space horror is craziest. Yes. Oh, Kit. Pay another $10 to you, but Ghost Ship is kind of scary. If I'm what is the Ghost Ship? I've not seen Ghost Ship. 2002, you say? Oh, I've seen the poster. I never seen the. Oh, that's a creepy girl. Is it very much piratey film, or is it kind of future pirates? It does look creepy, yeah. That's weird. Thank you. Yeah, Pitch Black. Now, Pitch Black to me, horror. Oof. Oof. Oh, see, I mean, I suppose it's kind of like Pitch Black and Resident Evil 3. The idea was, how can you make a horror film or horror-esque in the daylight? Because night hides all sins. I think Resident Evil 3 has some fun bits for sure. So I suppose in that respect, horror though, I would just call it a sci-fi action with monsters. Because if a monster makes everything a horror, then that again broadens it hugely with every other genre. What do you guys think? Is Pitch Black a horror film? I mean, you could probably I would not disagree it was not horrific. but I wouldn't. But I'm of the sort that I don't believe that Lord of the Rings is science fiction because it happens to be in the thing. Blah blah blah. I don't believe. Okay, Stuart is Sherlock Holmesing today. That's exciting. Let's see. Yeah, no, good old gamer. Yes, Parallels. He has the com badge from Future Imperfect. Yeah, the fake reality one. So they basically had them lying around, so they used them. But in all realities, it's going to happen somewhere. So that can see it's perfectly fine with me. But he also says, why didn't Star Trek do horror? I mean, it's done quite a few. I feel like Star Trek has done more horror episodes than you think. Let's have a look. It's done. Let's have a look. I mean, of course, yeah, Dead Stop. I would consider a sort of horror film, which is the Enterprise episode where the robot station. That I would kind of consider horrific with the ending, especially. Haunting Deck 12, obviously. TNG Genesis, yeah, that's close. Night Terrors, yeah. Not on Conspiracy, would not call horror. Discovery, looking on Discovery. Man Trap, no. Phantasms, there's a horror to that. Doctor's Orders, that's definitely a horror episode. The Adversary, DS9, it's a monster one. Vanishing Point, Coda. Best of Both Worlds, not horror. Impulse, yeah, no, that's definitely horror. Enterprise, there's a horror episode. Bucknor, certainly. Frame of Mind, that's a psychological horror, but I would definitely call that a horror episode. The performance of Jonathan, man, he must have loved that. Scientific Method with the Voyager, people change their brains. Wouldn't call it horror, but I'd say it's closer than most. Schisms, yes. The Thor, Voyager, that's, again, psychological horror with the creep factor, but I would call it a horror episode. Yeah, I mean, it's, not too many, but enough. Yeah, IS, that's Genesis. Genesis? Oh yeah, Sea Chubs are. We're going to ignore Picard. Yes, we are. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's the only list. I need a tremendous amount. But is most horror films or TV the idea of one creature, mostly one creature, who you really can't stop, who's coming after you, and the lights go off for some reason, or either unarmed or unable to defeat it? Is that kind of what horror is? Is that all it needs to be? Because as soon as you go into things where they have other methods, like I said, the one, the Enterprise episode where they've the AI controlled dry dock, like the end is horror for sure, but the rest of it is just a fun time with a cool concept. So do you just need a little bit of horror to be horror? And in essence, that alien creature was the starbase. So yeah, what is horror to you guys? Where are the lines? Or is most horror just a thematic trait? The idea of this coming through a story equals horror, and therefore it becomes a horror, whatever. Because Ghost of Mars, it's horrific because for me the tone is creepy, action creepy, and then the body mutilation stuff is quite that's quite horrific. I guess the raw concept, again, it's just a sci-fi concept without the body modification stuff. Ooh, you tell me, guys. You tell me. Oh, All Discovery's a horror show. Darn, that's sad. But not untrue. Actually. Okay, Trekyards. The definition. A film which very frightening or unnatural things happen. For example, dead people coming to life and being murdered Okay. Unnatural things. It's a fantasy film with more death, I guess. Just getting a bit but that's too bright, but then it's I could always do. Is that too? Oh, I always do that. No. Well, that's kind of dramatic. I'm gonna do it for a little bit. Very red. Very, very red. Oh, Kit, you man. But season 2, episode 2 of TNG, where science has some horror elements to it. Particularly the creature-like scream we hear right up to us, the fake Yamato. Ah, is that the Nagilum? That one. That's definitely getting close. Yeah, that's haunted house, I would say. Yeah, I'd give that a horror slant for sure. Dramatic. Oh, that was loud. It's got a response from Emma. SG1 the Tomb. Yes. Although sort of by definition the creature's the ghoul, therefore not unnatural. Let's have a look. Sometimes it's a lot of creatures, sometimes it's an evil AI, or sometimes robots, sometimes something psychic. So not just one creature. Yes, very true. Very, very true. No, Chucky is definitely... Well, but then again, that's like fantasy sci-fi versus sci-fi. I'm just more of a purist on sci-fi should be like real sci-fi versus adding that fantasy weirdness. Oh. Maurice's look at her Instagram. Okay. Let's look at her Instagram. Oh. Super cool. Let me just say well done to her. Yeah, good for her. Horror comes out of the uncanny. The details almost don't matter as long as the character's face uncanny outline says it. Yes, that is true. I mean, I do have a horror episode of Trek Shorts. It's already filmed. Yeah, we gotta stick to the classic red. Yes, I have done a horror episode for Trek Shorts. It's not fun for the main character. Obviously. Lots of unnice things happen to her. Yes. No spoilers. What would be a legit method of... Oh, method of killing. Oh my goodness. How would I kill people? Well, obviously lightsabers the joke answer, isn't it? I think you have to be situational based on where you are, honestly. Mode on Planet Express. All those who wander very alien. Sean, do you mean literally the alien episode with the Gorn? Because the Gorn are terrible. Terrible. Their xenomorphness is you can't get more rippy-offy than xenomorphs. Oh, terrible. But really good readers of the sets. Like, very, very good. Patrick James, $20. Thank you so much. More vodka. Patrick James member for 1 year. That's a long time. Thank you. A good horror show movie will instill in the audience severe anxiety, produce gut-wrenching moments, make you close your eyes and cause ladies to scream and some men. Have any of you screamed at a movie? I've definitely jump scared. I don't think I've screamed at a movie. But I have this terrible habit when I watch horror that I'm more interested in the horror aspects from a production standpoint of how they made it. Like, I look at Alien Xenomorph and I'm like, oh, that's a great animatronic. That's a great piece of art. I don't really get lost in the it's gonna eat me vibe so much, which is useful. I don't like horror films that much. So screaming not so much. Now the anxiety, that's certainly true. That is certainly true. But God, there's a film I watched or a TV show I watched recently that I felt so like I was so invested in the hero, and you know that something bad's gonna happen to them very, very soon. I was like, oh, I don't want them to get hurt, and then they did, and it was really sad. It's really sad. But that's okay. That's what happens in horror movies. But I just liked the hero, and it was a nice story, and it's like, don't ruin it by hurting them. Oh well. Oh, it's raining. Raining outside. Would not have been the best time to go out clubbing, but I would have enjoyed it nonetheless. Yep, that's definitely right. That's very loud. The problem with not having the lights on is that it's very bright. Thanks, Eric. Happy Halloween to you as well. Oh, Kit, you're awesome. Ooh, now the face melting scene for the first Indiana Jones. See, okay. Does one scene make it the horror? That scene, phenomenal, right? Really great, and it sort of comes out of nowhere, and it hits you like a ton of bricks. Fantastic. Now, if one scene where it just is a horror, if that can make a horror, then yes, 100%. But that is such a high octane action film with this crazy, not metaphysical, but the supernatural ending. Yes, fine. If that criterion, then yeah, Sean, conspiracy. Yes, the conspiracy, the body melting scene is horribly graphic and not more well. Oh, you guys tell me. Is the conspiracy body melting phasing scene more gruesome than Indiana Jones face melting scene? I was going to say yes, but they're different. But is seeing the entire body and oh god, you see the inner shell? Ugh. There is one Dragonfire, yeah. Good shout. Black and white, haven't heard of that. If they develop transformation technology with species or characters, ooh, transformation technology like Transformers. What would be cool? I think Star Wars would be an obvious one to Imperial Transformers. That sounds kind of cool. No, it's fine. Cool. It's fine. It's all good. Oh, yeah. Who from Red Rabbit? That ending is certainly... Yeah, there's definitely some bits there, for sure. God, Bill and Ted 2. Guys, okay. Which do you prefer right now in the chat? Bill and Ted 1 or Bill and Ted 2? I have thoughts. drink my coffee when the rain outside. Also, I asked in the poll, and I'm surprised you guys haven't voted. Isn't more one-sided. I asked you guys, did you do trick and treating this once when you were a child? And only 65% said yes. I imagine most of our audience is American, so I'm kind of surprised that it's not like the standard. So I'm kind of intrigued about it. Thanks for voting. Well, good old gamer asking about the first one. First two. So let's do a quick poll on that. You more. Oh. Dude. Oh yeah. Dude. Did you enjoy Bill and Ted 1 or 2, man? More like the most of the 2. Radical. Bounty. Excellent. Bill and Ted 2. Party on, Death. So my official question is, dude, did you like Bill and Ted 1 or 2, man? More like most of the 2. Radical. Excellent. Number 1. Or party on, Death, dude. Bill and Ted 2. Vote now. Hey, cool. Thanks, Alexa. Appreciate that. Yes. Let's have a look. Happy Halloween. Thank you, Sonic Fan. Happy Halloween to you as well. Sean, Bill and Ted 1. Definitely. Though Bill, sad as Death, perfection. Yes, he is very good as Death. I mean, that's not even his accent. I mean, of course, but it's like that's a hell of a thing. Thanks, Holy Gabriel. Yeah, vote now. I actually want to know what you guys think. So, does one scene equate a horror movie into a film into a horror movie? Now, how many of the Star Warses have a scene of horror that would equate? Now, Luke getting zapped, is that horror? No. Is Luke's arm getting slashed off horror? No. Patrick James, Armbo, cringes a lot as a child watching the old Twilight Zone about having a difficult time sorting out specific episode. I've only seen a couple of those. Do you think they hold up, Twilight Zone? I wonder. But thank you, Patrick. I appreciate that. As always. You guys are keeping the dream alive. Keeping the dream alive. Paper, oh, another 10, thank you. Back when it came out, Godzilla versus the Smog Monster was considered as horror when Hebron. Ooh, really? Melted people. Let's Google this. Melting. When was this made? 1971. Okay. Melting. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? The definition of horror has absolute. Oh, wow. That's weird. Cool. Huh. Interesting visuals. Because what we take, we're so desensitized to these things that the idea of horror, if we are horrified, if you're horrified by something, if we become so much more chill with horror that we're not horrified anymore, does that mean then people have to get more horrified? Which then becomes just like body horror and really, really gruesome, mean stuff. So, very tricky question. But Psycho is what I was considering, is what I was thinking of there. Psycho at the time, from what I remember and know, is that literally the murder sequence was so gruesome and graphic, and it is very artistic, that people ran out of the cinema screaming. Like, not a few, a lot. So, a relatively simple murder in a bathtub, in a shower, brought people to such horror that a flea. Now that, as a concept, nowadays seems insane. And certainly you watch Psycho now, really great film still, really, really good, like built, very well built. That scene is effective as a story beat, but it plays now as it is as a stabbing done to a very good degree. So you would not be horrified by it. You would be, oh, that's a bit, oof, oh. So that's very much different of our eras, which is interesting then, because it those mediums, especially when they are such movies that are of a blockbuster nature, they obviously reach a lot of people, that when they're made, it gives you an idea of what the society can handle, be it non-political correctness style content. I mean, boy, when I was a bit younger, I enjoyed the teen not drug films, but the American Pie sort of films of their early 20s. I don't know how to watch them, but just those sorts of films. You couldn't do those films really nowadays, even though there's a huge market for a certain amount of time, and that was a whole thing, and you just don't get them now. And they were fun. They had so much good, funny, silly, daft, how many high school movies are made nowadays, and that's a shame to lose that genre entirely, because the society has moved on, but they're still funny. Like, they're still, immature, but immature can be funny. A fart joke, a very well told fart joke is still a good joke. So, horror as well, the fact that they existed at a certain point, all the monsters, those were of obviously a certain era. The Frankenstein's monster, there's a set of them, is of an era. Let's see. People in this generation are super sensitive, handled with care. Some are. Millennials are pretty chill compared to Gen Z. Is that the opposite? Is that what Sean just said, or is it the opposite? Now, yeah, the way they take out Brent Spiner in Independence Day is a pretty horrific scene for sure. That's the problem with horror movies. They're most effective at their time of release. Effects get dated and such. Yes, that said, Good Gamer, obviously, nowadays with CG, you can feel that wasn't a real face getting squished, versus that back in the day. A well-made mannequin getting squished is more effective than a well-done CG body getting squished. A shitty one looks shitty, but a good one looks good. That's just the budget and creativity. Like Predator, I've had Predator and Alien, and I've seen both in real life. Like, physical cosplayers who have incredible costumes look like aliens. Like, they entirely work. It's amazing. I finally returned from getting peanutless candy choices for trick-or-treaters. Finally time to partake. Good, enjoy. Oh, another 10. Thank you so much. The very first goods of the movie was because of the horror. Right? The Japanese version showed the killing monster holding her to. Ooh. But I guess what would you classify as? An action movie does not quite summarize a creature killing an entire town. Interesting. But 54, that's there's only so many films. Yes, Drunkyards, that was pretty horrific. Everyone reacts to horror shows based on their own psychological makeup and life experience. Hard to scare the majority when it does. We remember it. Yes. Yeah. I think a lot of horror nowadays is more psychological. Creepy. I do get affected by scenes where they build up the tension of the the long drone music, and you're leading in, and you're it's building that tension that I quite like. I hate it in my real life. Who likes feeling intense? Although there are life events where you have to do something you don't want to do. More like you know, like talks or events and things. But normally they're to pay off to really exciting things, so it's a tricky balance there. I think more movies are horror movies than we think, but with time the envelope gets pushed further and further. That's yes. General Gurus, what would you throw me some examples then? I mean, I think you are right. I think we would still call them horror, but I think the Nosferatu, I believe that was what the first one was called, when it's pretty lame, like literally the definition of lame, not as full on. Back in the day was huge. Now it's not. Yeah, it is tricky. Oh god, who thinks I should stay in this costume to watch Andor later? I mean, is the best way of watching Star Wars in a Star Wars costume? Maybe. Maybe it is. Good old gamer. Miss Practical Effects. Yes. Creature work for sure. Not Xenomorph. Oh man, this thing frayed. Oh no. Oh no. Well, that didn't take long to fray, did it? Oh no. Is this how? How's the sound together? That's not so good. In fairness, I did a big old fight in it. I'm sorry. Yeah, practical effects are physical stuff. That, as in physical on set, that's where it wins. I was thinking the Starship Trooper alien, the one at the end of that, as a practical effect, I'm pretty darn sure. And it's gruesome, it's horrible, it's amazing. I really hope CG Trek ships look more and more like real models. Well, we know that in Rogue One they're almost like miniatures, but miniatures are tricky when it comes to spaceships because I had two fan films that wanted to use miniatures as an idea. One did, and I replaced almost all the shots with CG because a miniature is as a spaceship is really cool because you're physically lighting a real object. Great. And we don't actually know what it looks like to be in space. We have no real relationship to that. So we only have models being lit in space as our baseline, as is the last 100 years of film and TV, whatever. So that's awesome. There's a reality to it that's real. And you can mask out the background fine. The issue is that if you physically move a miniature, they're heavy, they're intricate, they're difficult. So the motions of everything become very simple. And Star Wars is an interesting exception, but they were tiny miniatures for the most part. And they did a lot with them. And that's why I think Return of the Jedi is very, very clever, because that's like, wow, that is miniatures? Holy shit. But you look at Orville, and there are very few miniature shots. They're really basic. You look at CG, it's incredible. So you gain that bit of realism because it's actually real, but you lose all of the dynamic camera, all of the interactive 3D depth, because, for example, if you're blowing something up, all you can do is shine a light on a model or like a ball, like an interactive thing. But to time match the light, I suppose you would, as a part, you'd retime it. But in theory, you'd have to time it with an explosion and then rematch that with CG. But in CG, it's all boom, 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 here it is, done, right? So, yeah. Tricky. CG might look less real, but it's far more narratively fulfilling, and you can get 1,000 times closer to CG than you can to miniatures. The interesting exception to that is the Enterprise E model in First Contact, where they got tremendously close, that one shot of the hull. But that is really interesting because it does hold up very well, although in 4K, there's a version of 4K out there, you can see the paint, literal paint, But where they couldn't manage it, and they're the first to do it in this form, I believe, you can see rooms. They actually printed out room pictures and put them behind the window segments. So there are things in... Oh yeah, but the problem is you can tell they're window slides because you can see them. They look like window slides. They're just fine. Yeah. Let's have a look. Yes, Drunkyards for sure. About too much digital for that. I didn't see Coral Digital's piece. That's exciting. I want to watch their CG one, but I didn't watch it today. Let's have a look. Let's have corridor. Ooh, that'll be fun. Oh, that's going to be horrible. Yeah, that's going to be good. Thank you for letting me know. Oh, Kitten on 10. Thank you so much. They just did a Titanic horror movie called Titanic 666 or Titanic 3. Oh, which Titanic 3 was haunted. Now that's funny. And he says the movie sucked. Now the 3.8 on IMDb. I never quite understand shitty movies like that, because like, did no one read the script? You know, like, you can surely tell if a movie's gonna be shitty just from the outset. You know, I can tell when a fan film I'm gonna do is probably not as good. Like, as in needing more rewrites. That's weird. Oh, look at the CG. Look at the CG. Oh, those. Oh my god, those people. Oh, that's. Oh no. Oh. Is this full? Oh, no, this is a full CG world. Oh, is the whole thing CG? Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Let me show you this. This is very interesting. And Mr. Matt Ballman would be interested in this for a second, because that's actually quite. I mean, I felt like I was fooled for a second. It's kind of cool. Let's have a look. Right. So here's the trailer for Titanic 3, as he said, and on Tubi or not Tubi, yeah. But this is a full CG shot, which is actually quite interesting because the lighting's quite good, and until you stop it, you can't tell as much. But then, because like, you're wondering how is the boat compared to the one from the 90s. But first of all, I mean, there's like a weird resolution-y, glitchy vibe with this crowd on the left that's very rendery. But secondly, so this is the people. Now watch this man right in the front of the screen. I can't point, but there's a man and a woman right in the middle, just kind of middle of the frame right now. Now these are all animated people. We can tell they're very low poly. I mean, you can see literally the hair on the people is just flat black. I mean, it's not good. But look at the animation of the guy walking. Oh, that's gross. Not that lady. Oh my god. I mean, you can't get more basic bitch animation rig. That's fantastic. Fantastic. But water's nice. The ship's it's not textured very well though. It's a bit bland. That's funny. But I was fooled for a second that it was only the ship was CG. So they did get me there. Come on, I'm trying to make it smaller. Now I moved. It's everything else. There we go. There you go. Gave me some entertainment there. Yes. Oh, on that window. Where it is? Yeah, Vulcan zombie episode was good. Sean, ILM, set the bar and consistency rate when it comes to miniature work, though. There aren't many miniature companies that replicate it. All those miniatures beautiful, but done by season 3. Well, I was only used the first 3 episodes and like cutaways, so it was almost not used at all. CG can only go so far, good old gamer. It's like making CG people. There's always going to be some uncanny valley, especially so you can't shake. I mean, the great thing about the CG is that when you... I love invisible effects, right? One of the favourite things I have that I look at as being, is that The Truman Show, which is a fantastic movie, really, really fantastic. And they built... They built this entire city set. And obviously it's facades, it's you know, whatever. And they didn't get permits, they couldn't get permits to build a second floor on anything. Not a single building. So every single building you see is a 1-story. And yet, they, through CG, extended every single building to a 2-floor for those big shots. And you can't tell. It's very well done. Very, very well done. Because it's basically invisible. It matches lighting and it was ahead of its time. It did a very good job. I love like digital set extension and such, where like why would you look past a certain point and then they add a out of focus city? It's like, oh, I didn't realize that for Deadpool. I believe it was Deadpool. Oh, thank you, Patrick. Appreciate it. You're the man. Happy Halloween. Yeah, Deadpool. They fight on this intercity bridge, right? And then most of it's really on the bridge, but a chunk of it was not for timing, and so they had to rebuild the exterior of the bridge in CG. And it's like, well, can you tell the difference? You're not looking for it. Maybe if you shot by shot it, you could, but in the flow, you just can't. Matt Bullman. I always laugh when people say that CG is bad. They prefer practical miniatures. They forget that practical models can be and often are just as bad as CG. That is also true. We see the paint and the little people inside. So it's not CG that you have a dislike, it's bad CG. And Matt, what do you think of the boat I just showed off? There are lots of scenes that have digital work in them, movies that everyone likes, but you would never know CG because it was done well, yes. Sean, been meaning to ask, what software do you use for your renders? Sean, there's a few different answers to that. Literally to render them, After Effects in the final. I use Lightwave 2015 for my spaceship exteriors because it mimics. Well, no, I said it wrong. It literally is lighting engine they used on Star Treks and Battlestar Galactica and Firefly and Babylon 5 and Stargate. So it has the vibe of 1990s 2000 sci-fi, which is phenomenal. I use Lightwave 2020 plus Octane Render for my interiors, which is absolutely groundbreaking coolness. And then I use World Creator for my planets sometimes. I use Substance Painter for my texturing of interiors, which is absolutely phenomenal. Thank you, Matt Bourne, for the brief tutorial. I've never once used your mirroring trick. Never once. I don't like painting on the models. So yeah, I mean, you know, After Effects and Premiere. But you know, people like Blender, people like Maya, you know, both are obviously fantastic, etc. Without proper CG work, yes, Kit without is meaningless. It's not meaningless, but it's a window dressing of a boring window. CG isn't bad, but there are some realism aspects, even with best CG, that are apparent. It's not saying practical models are always the best, but it's just being honest. A lot of CG you cannot tell. You would be so incredibly... Okay, for example, General Grievous. Like, you know Samuel Jackson is being de-aged in every single shot in Captain Marvel. Does it look like CG? That's freaking beautiful. Beautiful. You know, etc. In the recent Doctor Strange film. Anson Mount, who played the guy with no voice, whatever his name was called, his body was a CG suit. Could you tell? I couldn't tell. Because why the hell would they do that? Oh, because they didn't design the suit yet. In Avengers Endgame, all of the time travel suits are 100% CG. What? They didn't design them yet. So in every single scene, they're wearing their normal suits. And then they replace them with digital suits. In the recent Spider-Man, several of the scenes, they swap out suits because they want a different suit. So they have Tom Holland in his normal suit. And they CG replace it with a CG suit. You can't tell. Bloody hell, that's so well done. Because, well, why wouldn't they build a real suit? You know? Like, you can't tell. Now, the space suit version, that you can tell. But that's chromey and it's not... It's ridiculous what they did. And there's loads of times when they, like, take out, like, a belt, like a harness from a CG suit. Yeah. Would love to see you do a crossover show with Star Wars series. Yeah. Oh. It's like, why? Yeah. I mean, I like the guy. His Star Wars film is great. He's certainly too big for us. But yeah, I'd love to... Yeah. I mean, we sort of just do our own thing. But, you know, would certainly like to do crossovers with people. Would be fun. Yeah. Yeah, if I had gone to a club, I'd been very wet right now with the outside. Unless I bought the cloak, then I'd be fine. Another name that... Is it because you're... No, I think... Custom CG. Oh, that's the hardest question of all. Don't know. But I asked you guys the question. Dude, did you like enjoy Bill and Ted 1 or 2, man? Like more like most of the 2. Very cool. Best of the world. Bill and Ted 1, excellent. 70%. And Bill and Ted 2, party on, dude. 30%. Good job, guys. I agree. Bill and Ted 1 far better than Bill and Ted 2. Yes, Bill and Ted 2 had some cool scenes, but thematically it's a mess. Acting is a bit of a mess. It feels cheaper. It's shot worse, in my opinion. Not like the Kel stuff, obviously, because it's cool, but the main film, it feels like a TV movie. Don't like the story, really. They did not bring back the babes properly. That's fantastic, but that does not make it a film. Bill and Ted 1, great across the board. Across the board. Yes. Yes, up to it, guys. So, guys, we are 60 away from our minimum, which is not necessarily a prerequisite today. We've got another 10 minutes. So, like any, even like $2ing your favorite horror film of all would be fun. I've got a few drinks to finish off. Would love to get near our minimum. This is our last day of the month, so all go towards our last bit of the month. Yeah, all helps. But I can't really show it, but I can. Let me not that I'm gonna fool anyone that it's not CG. Ha 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 ha. But let me. Nope, that is not. That's not it either. Well, doing an ad. Oh look, it's me on the thing. This is my trailer. Since I might as well show it at the end of a time heist. Now is that CG? Yes, yes it is. Oh yeah, I've got your country here. This is the time heist movie trailer for my fan film Trek Shorts. I'm on Indiegogo right now for £31,000 because I really need it. This is a film I'm filming it in December, assuming we get most of our goal. This is a epic time travel caper where Captain Hunter is given command of the USS Defiant to go back in time and get some information from the one and only V'Ger. It has the key to something, and he must go back. But obviously, timeline protecting, etc. And I've got some very cool visuals in mind, as you can see. I don't know if any fan films done V'Ger this well, dare I say. And I'm very excited to bring it to bear. It's a really cool story. There's several cool twists. Really, really like fun little scenes I haven't written it yet because I need funding for it. I got to bring 3 cast in and some people, so it's a bit more expensive. But visually, like, I mean, here's V'Ger. There's V'Ger right there. And I'm trying to, yeah. I mean, you guys know I'll make it canon, but I've got a really good concept about link canons and stuff you have them thought of, and yeah, really important. Really, I'm trying, I'm really trying. I want to make these things for everybody, but we need this support. It's true, and everyone that super chats. I mean, you can you can go on Indiegogo and put in a 15, not necessarily as well, but if you can super chat, you can Indiegogo. And that's the thing. Every 15 does mount up. A long way to our goal, but boy. The amount of films and projects, it's really astounding what I'm meant to do for such a low amount of money. But dedicated crew, dedicated cast, dedicated loyal people want to make it, and look how good looking costume, man. Look at that. Yeah, you can get some fun perks like having the name of a crew member in the different famous ships. Look at that, we've got TNG, we've got Picard, we've got all sorts of cool things. Look at all these. Look, these are each stills of different films. Wow, it's how many different films is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 8 different films. There you go, up to these 8 different films. And you're not going to see these interiors anywhere else in the fan film world. So if you want to see the runabout or the... I mean, like it's only TOS fan films, but this is like real seeing the universe and seeing it come to life. And, and if you guys love ships, like get the Trek Shorts poster. Ships Trek Shorts. Where you get this, it won't look like this, it'll be even bigger, but roughly this. All the different ships are used in Trek Shorts to scale. A beautiful high-res poster, either digital or physical. Like, for such a little amount of money, you can really help the Trek fan film cause, and I really want to do my best, so we need that funding. Because I only have so much money. You guys do a lot to help that, obviously, with your with your super chats. And that don't earn too much, so need that support. But hopefully, with enough people that will give a few dollars, we can mount up. And yeah, we really try. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, kit 920. Gremlins horror. Some scenes, yes, I would say. Happy Halloween, where's Stuart? He is with his family. Easy answer. Have you noticed, if you look at the eyes, yes, the deep fake eyes are super hard to do because you can't do them. The AI can't give, with the Yes, David Attenborough is still alive, Sean T. He's real old. Let's see. Look Up Studios, £5. Thank you so much. Oh, it's so strange. From Dusk Till Dawn horror or comedy with horror themed? Oof. Horror. Yes. Sean, has Paramount CBS made it more difficult for you to produce fan films with their rules? Sean, common question, don't worry for asking. So those guidelines, not rules, came out, what, 6 years ago now? 5 years. They only ever talked to one film, and that was my film 5 years ago, and I got a deal, and they've not approached anybody since. And there have been hundreds of films out since I've released 6 this year alone. So no, they've not once utilised their "we think this," but also their guidelines were really just to stop the biggest people. And you get big by bringing Star Trek alumni back. So if you can't do that, you can't raise the money. I mean, if I had one actor from Trek, I'd get the money. You know, it was very upsetting because I deserve the money to do all the hard work versus just getting Walter Koenig in it. You know, like great, but like, but no, they've been fine. You know, I've made lots of these films now. They aren't the boogeyman that people thought it might have been. They just want to clamp down a bit. Dustin, what do you think of the Cali classes? Ship saving this. It's ship Cerritos. Boimler must have had a lot of air in one breath. Yes. It was good. It was a good scene. It was very thematically satisfying for a lower deck sort of show. No, it was good. It was their epic moment to celebrate the epic moment of the California classes, which obviously a bit of a joke class anyway, inside the universe, and to a small extent outside the universe. No, yeah, it was good. It was good. But yeah, any last super chats, and then and we can close out for this happy Halloween extravaganza. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed your brief time with us today. I believe Stuart back tomorrow. Yes, they did. Yeah, we've never seen all the ships, all the colours. Yeah. So yeah, last super chat is currently with Lookout Studios. Thank you so much for your couple of bucks. Makes a huge difference. Did I have farm pod or was it the burnt it? Yeah, cool. Oh, you're welcome, Sean. Oh, thank you, Kit. But have you thought about doing a Star Trek horror fan film? Yes, I have actually made one already. We call it the Nightmare Short. Yes, no, I have a horror film already filmed. There are some really good. It's featuring Nim because in a timeline she's a slightly shittier mid of her life, so it makes sense to throw some curveballs. There's a certain scene where she's yelling viciously, and a really good scene. Oh God, where is it? Where she thinks a friend is there to help, and the scene becomes kind of because you can make comedy horrific as well when the tone shifts all of a sudden. God, I'm being vague here. No, I'm looking forward to releasing. I've done most of the space shots. I've designed every single one. I think there's 28 shots. A lot of weapons and that. It's going to suck to do. But there's some good stuff. There's two shots which are really cool involving quantum torpedoes. But yeah. There's one fun we're screwed moment, which is going to be a really fun payoff to see on screen. So, yeah. Yeah, no, I've done a horror film. I'm looking forward to everyone seeing it. Already filmed, so. $10. Hopefully, we see more of the fleet next season. Yes! Yes, do some double whammies. Do some multiple Calis. There you go. Alright. Oh, that's much left. All right. Booze has been. Booze has been had. Hopefully fun has been had. Thank you all for the support. As always, you guys make us go. We are the Packers, you make us go. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow for Things and Bobs. Thank you for the excuse to wear this costume and turning up, because I didn't, you never know who's going to turn up. Thanks to the regulars. We love you as always, Mark, Matt, and Kit, etc. We'll see you tomorrow for another Thing and Bob. Until then, I am Jedi Master Cloak Face. Yeah. Thing about these cloaks, right? They're actually really, really, really big. There's like a scene where there's like they're hard to fold, because really it's like a bloody tent, because it's actually supposed meant to have like a whole lot of excess fabric on the neck, and yeah, real pain in the ass. Yeah. So until then, until then I am, as I said, Master